trail.
This is, I tell you what, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Think about the threes that Memphis hit the other night. You can see that they're getting to the line, which is what they want. And offensive rebounds is Memphis' stronghold, along with weak side duck-ins. Expect them to stay aggressive, both in the paint and on the boards.
Great balanced scoring, C-Web. With the Memphis Grizzlies, their leading scorer has 8 points, and that's Gay and Conley and Gasol and Mayo. Meanwhile, Chris Paul leads the Clippers with 16. And the Clippers will start it out in the second half with Paul and Griffin, Foy, along with Bobby Simmons and DeAndre Jordan. Gabe doing a good job on Simmons. Simmons feeding inside, knocked away, and it's last touch by the Clippers, so they turn it over on their first possession. That's their 10th tonight.
I actually don't mind that penetration by Simmons. You got to know your personnel. Don't know if Jordan's going to catch that all the time in the paint, but you like seeing him attack the paint, and get it off to the big fellas.
So it's Conley with Allen in the backcourt, Gasol, Zach Randolph, and Rudy Gay up front. There's Zach Randolph, who's played a lot better tonight, but getting a piece of that one is DeAndre Jordan. Tough to get it over the great shot blocker who was 4th in the league this year. That was his 3rd block tonight.
Jordan just didn't time the shot. He timed the rhythm as well. And on the other end, I love the fact that Griffin is getting the ball, one dribble middle, spin back before any help comes, finish an easy layup.
8 points for Blake Griffin. Grizzlies had a 9-rebound edge in that first half. There is Gasol, and he'll shoot it over Jordan. Here is Paul, shadowed by Conley. Into Griffin, and foul. So they go to Blake Griffin. They're getting the ball into him early here in the second half.
Definitely. They're going to Blake early, but on the other end, Zebo is struggling. Great timing, not only from the jump shot by Jordan, but from the crossover step back. And right here, love seeing Blake be able to get it with no help around and be able to go to work and do what he does, which is finish with buckets.
Hey, Chris, with all of his foul shooting problems, it was Griffin who hit 2 critical free throws to bring them to within 1 at the tail end of last game.
Exactly, and you have to love his heart, stepping up to the line, not only in your first playoff game when you aren't playing that well, and still be able to do that, you have to love his heart on that.
And he missed the first try. Right now, the Clippers are 3 for 5 from the line. The Grizzlies have gone to the line 12 times in the game, and he connects on 1 out of 2.
Well, Kenny Smith said it at halftime. This is the grind house, so it is a grind out game. And with these type of games, it's hard for players to get a lot of rhythm. It's hard for you to get anything established. You just really got to wrestle it out.
Here is Gay. Here is Allen in the lane. In and out. Jordan the rebound. Clippers can take the lead here, but a bad pass by Paul. And Allen gets it back. Paul gets a hand on it. And the turnover is back. And Memphis back defensively here. Here's Simmons. Plenty of time on the clock for Chris Paul. And here is Gay. Rudy Gay bumped by Foy. And for more on the Clippers, let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, Chris was talking about the grind-out game, the lack of a rhythm. Vinny Del Negro told his team, listen, you guys, the effort is there. However, you're letting the Grizzlies push you around too much. Look at the rebounds. He said, we only have 2 offensive rebounds. You think you're in position, but you're getting pushed out. You're getting pushed underneath the basket. He said, we have to fight back. We have to retaliate. We have to hold our ground. We need to have a better effort, both not only on the offensive end, but also on the defensive end. And that's obviously it's a physical game, and we need to be physical as well. Nick?
Yeah, you have to love this the physicality of this game, and it's clean and it's just banging up under the paint. But both teams refuse to let the other team impose their will on them just through being physical. So they're gonna meet that with resistance, and you have to love that watching it in this paint.
Gay hits them both, and the Grizzlies 5 feet just going by third quarter, and Rudy Gay with 10 points. In double figures, the first Grizzly player to get that and a kick ball. One game separated these teams in the regular season, and both wound up with the best winning percentage in franchise history. Steal by guess who? Tony Allen. His knee looks to be okay.
You read my mind. I was going to say, no matter your injury, on a fast break, 18,000 people watching you, it's like getting some type of shot. You just feel good automatically.
There is Paul. Alley-oop to Jordan. Oh! And the basket counts and the foul. Talk about exclamation point right there.
Oh, that's what I love to see. Guys being aggressive, going to the hole. Great pass by the point guard, and they communicated this. They communicated this after he missed the pass to Blake off the pick and roll. Jordan came over and said to him, I'm going to come up under, look for me for the oop. You have to love the in-game adjustments, not only by the coaches, but by the players as they're watching what's going on in the game.
DeAndre Jordan, a terror in the paint. Meanwhile, the foul was on Tony Allen. Well, Jordan, this is the free throw. And right now, Clippers struggling from the line. They haven't gone that much. They are 7 of 11.
The ref better clean it up. I'm telling you this right now. It's getting a little, as he just does.
Bobby Simmons with the foul. That's his third.
I mean, this game is getting physical right now. You know, you see Bobby Simmons, he's doing a great job, has to fight the big Gasol. He's doing what he has to do. And on the other end, Blake Griffin and Randolph are giving each other forearm shivers. That is just exciting out there.
And Conley dribbles it off his foot over and back. It was not deflected. It was off the foot of Conley, so he is called for an over and back violation.
Great recognition by the official. It did go off of him as he tried to do a reverse crossover right there. Definitely over and back. Even though the crowd doesn't believe it.
Another surprise, right?
Exactly.
Here is Paul trying to wend his way in, and here is Griffin, and Griffin travels. He never really had control inside.
Yeah, he was looking for the landing strip and about to take off, and he just didn't have everything right with him, didn't have his dribble. But that's good defense because he saw all those white jerseys in that paint, knowing that they would make a little bit of confusion for him.
So the points off for turnovers, the Clippers have the edge by 3. And in the first game, the Grizzlies had only a 1-point edge in the turnover battle. Here is Gay against Simmons, who has 3 fouls. And a tough shot by Rudy Gay, who has 12 on 5 for 8 shooting. And a foul at the other end. Boy, this is a feverish second game between the 4 or 5 seeds, and nothing we didn't expect going in.
You're right, nothing we didn't expect. And after watching game 1, I believe both these teams believe and have the right to believe that this series should be theirs.
So the foul is on Tony Allen. That is his 3rd foul.
Friday, 10:30 on ESPN. Of course, the Lakers lead 2-0. And then we got Thunder Mavericks, game 3, Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. on TNT, and OKC leads that one.
You like doing this? You like it?
I love it. I love it. Love being here, baby.
Here's Rudy Gay inside. Crossover dribble. Paul's trying to stay with the bigger guy. Steals the ball, but Randolph gets it away. Chris Paul made a great steal against Rudy Gay, and then Randolph, all he had to do was put it up. 10-point lead, points in the paint for Memphis. They're up by 5 right now, and now another turnover. Conley and Allen getting the rebound. And let's see if a timeout was called before the jump ball. It was by Memphis. And there is Vinny Del Negro yelling over the back. It should have been a foul. So is Chris Paul echoing that. But the Grizzlies got the timeout.
And we're at the grindhouse, still grinding it out. Missed layup, but look at this effort by Allen coming over the top, having a sense of mind. They look at the ref, call a timeout so they can keep.
Memphis Grizzlies can establish their biggest lead if they get a basket here. Here's Rudy Gay, and he does, and they do.
And that's why I think Rudy Gay, when he has a smaller guy like a young on him, should take it to the post. What he just did was he just took Jordan to the post basically and scored over him.
C-Webb, he's hit his last 6 and has 14 points. Under 7.5 remaining in the third. Paul playing cat and mouse with Conley. Ball away shot. And Marc Gasol winds up with it. Paul has played 24 minutes and Gasol going in strong. And a good play by Jordan inside as he's hung in there with Gasol. And 4 blocks for DeAndre Jordan, 4th in the league in that department. And Griffin off of Randolph, and the Clippers get it back.
And for the Clippers, you know, Vinny Del Negro has the luxury during the timeout. He asked Chris Paul, what play did he want to roll? And it's such a luxury to have a point guard that can tell you the temperature of your team, tell you whose shots are hitting, whose are not, and to be able to ask your point guard is a trust most coaches don't have with their point guard.
Blake Griffin, I'll tell you what, these guys that have never been in the playoffs before for the Clippers look back.
They learned with the help of Chris Paul, who is looking at him like they're crazy, who is screaming at him, who is staying on him, who's trying to will his team to win.
Griffin now with 13, and it's a 5-point Memphis lead. Here's Tony Allen. Allen hits. Allen, who has 3 steals, 2 blocks, 5 rebounds. Now with 10 points in the game, a terrific all-around game for Tony Allen, the former Celtic. As we wind close to 6 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Griffin again with Randolph, and they're going to call the foul on Randolph, and Randolph and Jordan talking things over there. It'll be a second on Randolph, and the 4th team foul against the Grizzlies.
I really like, once again, how Blake Griffin is attacking. But let me ask this question. After Blake takes 2 dribbles, why isn't it a man there on the spin back? Every player has a tendency, and you know Blake's tendency is to dribble and spin back, a la Dominique and other players. And when he takes 2 dribbles, the guard has to come down. Somebody rotate over to that guard's man that just rotated. But you should not let him have a clear lane, and you should definitely not let him spin back to his right hand, which he's been doing all night.
And
great
no
job by him. No one was there. No.
Griffin looking for Paul, and Allen is on Paul. That's a matchup that Lionel Hollins didn't want to see, and Paul with the basket. What did he tell us? He said, my coaches want Allen on Paul, I don't, and I gave way to them, and I don't think you'll see it tonight. Well,
yeah, well, maybe that time might have been a mistake, but you're exactly right. Then he said, too, Allen kindly convinced me. He said, I'm going to listen to myself from now on.
18 for Chris Paul on a great shooting night, 7 of 11 from the field. Here is Conley coming back. Randolph with the offensive rebound. Zach with 11.
All positioning for Zach. Zach Randolph barely can jump over 2 phone books when he's healthiest, and he's always, even with the lack of jumping ability, been a great rebounder, especially offensively.
What a fake by Paul.
Oh.
Chris Paul with a great fake. And Chris Paul playing up to his NBA All-Star status now.
I don't even know how to describe this because he faked me out as well. I guess he looked to the right after coming. Allen went up in the air, so did all the fans thinking he was passing it to them. Great finish by Paul in the paint. Being very aggressive, which is what this team needs, is leadership and aggression right now.
20 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds on 8 for 12 shooting. 10 on the shot clock. Here is Gay. And the foul will be called against Simmons, and that'll be 4. Let's check it with Craig.
Well, Tony Allen is the best defender for the Grizzlies on the perimeter, and yes, he does want to guard Chris Paul. But the reason why Coach Hollins does not want him on Paul is because of the way he plays defense. He says he's great, but he cuts on angles, he bodies you up, he gets into your body, and he also gambles. And those are things you do not want to do against the wiry and clever Chris Paul.
Has to do with